Hello and welcome to the Hugh Hatrick Show. And in collaboration tonight, we have a very, very special group of guests joining us. Some you may have seen, some you will definitely not have seen. It is the SMA Motorsport Association. We have Robin. Say hello, Robin.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
We have Dylan from DC Designs. Say hello.
Hello.
We have JP Simulator Cave. Good to see you, JP.
Evening, everyone.
And we've also got Sean from AKA Tina Jet. Good to see you back for another round.
Evening, everyone.
And of course, we have our newest sponsor along to the Sim Motorsport Association. It is for Right Recruitment. Good day. It's good to see you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. Now, we already had 2 rounds of the SMA Season 2. And tonight we'll be finding out exactly why all those who are featured here tonight are involved and what they think of the series and why they've been drawn to the SMA Season 2. Because many of the people here tonight, in fact, everyone except Robin, there is a sponsor of the season. So it'll be very exciting to see what they think and what it is that what they're getting out of the SMA Season 2 and what it can mean for everyone watching, for you guys who watch it on a Monday night on YouTube and more. So, Robin, I'll ask you first of all quickly just to to introduce our guests and how they came along to join the SMA for season 2.
Hi, good. Yeah, thanks, you. Hope you're well. Um,
I'm very well, thanks.
that's quite a difficult one, Bug. I thought you weren't going to put me on the spot tonight.
All
I
right.
thought we agreed on this. I was like, how would you ask me something that
Well,
complicated? These
it was
special people, these special people, I think are here because they have the same passion as SMA, and I think as most of our community right now is that we want to grow the sport, in any which way we can, and it's just I think it's amazing to have all these positive people kind of like pushing in the same direction, and I think that's why they're here. They're trying to grow sim racing South Africa, and we're just proud to have them on board.
it's fantastic. Yes, I mean it's a lot of new sponsors, which is
Oh
great for
yeah,
the channel.
sorry. Could I say something, you? If you
Certainly.
don't mind. So as we know, our new sponsor is Slayer Energy. Unfortunately, um, Goose, I like his name, the esports promoter for Slayer, unfortunately was not able to make tonight's interview. However, they did send us something from I think I sent it to you.
Yes, I can read that out for you. Would
Okay,
you like me
so
to do
this
that?
is a message from our new sponsor Slayer that I'd said I'd read out and apologize for them not being able to be here. So you, if you don't mind, just reading that message from
Yeah,
Slayer,
certainly.
please.
From Slayer.
Thanks, Paul.
It says here, first off, we're incredibly excited to be partnering with SMA. They've built one of the most passionate and professional sim racing communities in South Africa, and that's exactly the kind of energy we align with at Slayer. For us, it's about fueling ambition. Whether that's behind the wheel, behind a screen, or in the crowd, GT Esports has exploded locally, and SMA has been leading that charge. Being able to support that growth and help push South African sim racing onto a bigger stage is something we're genuinely proud of. This partnership isn't just branding, it's about collaboration, community, and driving the scene forward together. From all of us at Slayer, we're hyped to be part of the journey. Let's make it one to remember. From Goose. So a great, passionate sponsor there, and a great message. And I think that will no doubt resonate well with all the viewers and those who are taking part. Because it's a very exciting esports community to be part of, and it's really growing well. From commentating on the last couple of series, it's been really exciting races, very competitive, and lots of people are getting involved from all sorts of backgrounds, and whether they're new to sim racing or not. So we'll find out a little bit more. We'll go to Dylan from DC Designs because you're one of the new sponsors. So, Dylan, how did you come to know about SMA and what was it that drew you to the championship and to become a sponsor?
No, originally, when I started back in 2020, when it was all lockdown and whatnot, didn't really do a lot of sim racing and whatnot. And then eventually, I found I think it was called the Forward Lockdown or something. Forward Lockdown Championship or something like that Ford hosted. And then from there, I met some of the people that did the sim racing there almost every single day. And then they led me to all the other leagues. And then eventually I took part in originally at the time, LNR. And then they moved over to becoming SMA and did quite a few races there. And the community with SMA has just been probably one of the best in the league at the moment. So it's been a bit on and off, going to different leagues and whatnot. But so far, I think SMA has been one of the best ones to take part in. And with the whole sponsoring thing, is I recently started my own company, and then with the whole the 3D printing and with the 3D printing, I thought it would be quite cool to create trophies for each tier once it gets locked, so that way each tier feels included at the end of the season. So each of the top 3 will get like a small little 3D printed trophy.
Oh, fantastic. That's really good, isn't it? And as you say, you can open up so many great designs with that. With 3D printing, isn't it? It's the latest thing, which is fantastic. And so the winners of the series will get a really good emblem, something to remember their championship with, and no doubt going into the future to do much more, which is fantastic.
100%.
Yeah, no, it's great. And there's a real sense of enthusiasm when you look in our Discord channel there on the SMA. There's so many good conversations going, people encouraging one another. All the groups that take part, I know from MSA as well. It's great to see the teams working together, and also the drivers. It's been so competitive. I've watched some of the races, the last 2, and it's been really exciting and great to see the drivers grow in their strengths and their abilities, and really come up the field. So it's definitely drawing in the crowds. We've had good viewing figures, which I know, Robin, you'll be very, very impressed with. All that hard work is seeing some great responses, which is fantastic. But I'd like to go to Right Recruitment, because you're one of the newest sponsors to the SMA Season 2. It's great to see you. What was it that drew you along to SMA?
Well, I've got to admit, I do a lot of work with DC Designs with Dylan, and I've been following him. And through that, I've been a big fan of, or I've become a big fan of the sim racing. I think it's so awesome that the guys get together, and from what I've watched and seen, everyone gets together, they have fun. It's just amazing to me. So yes, I am a big motorsport fan in general. So watching the sim racing and being able to contribute towards it is very, it's an honor to me. I want to support it. I want it to grow, and that's why I'm getting Right Recruitment to sponsor and just contribute towards this.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And what's more, I'm sure with a company like Right Recruitment, being in that, helping people getting better jobs and things, you could help many of the drivers get better jobs, which will allow them to buy faster equipment, so they can spend more money on their favorite thing, and make it even more competitive. So hopefully it will be definitely a two-way deal for you.
Yes, no, I always make sure that the guys get, good prizes and so forth. So, yes, I just feel they deserve it.
Great answer.
I have to say the races have been very, very good so far. I know Sean was aching to tell me how he had gotten on race 2 when he first got on, but I thought, right, I'll surprise the audience if they don't already know the results. I'll surprise you, Sean. That's a great way, a great segue to come to you for that. How did you get on race 2?
Well, I particularly wore something very bright so that the rest of the tier 3 guys can see what I look like, because I was so far in the lead that they couldn't see me. No, I'm just kidding. But, no, it was,
I was too far behind to see all that.
Yeah, I can see myself getting taken out of turn 1 in the next race. So I joined the league in October last year. I got lapped in tier 6 at Mount Panorama, and I'm now going into tier 2. I spent some of the MSA Cup. I think I got locked into tier 2 for the MSA Cup. So there's been a big leap in experience and ability, and it's all because you're racing with better guys all the time and practicing with better guys all the time. So it really, really helps a lot. In terms of sponsorship, it's kind of just because I want to help grow the sport in South Africa, really. It's a really nice group of guys. We do sharpen our elbows for a Monday night, but after that, generally we get on quite well. Once the COC has given their reports, then we get on quite well. Hey, Robert.
Yeah, no comment. No comment. I'm not commenting.
In terms of the sponsorship, it's just I'm the owner of Postnet Midstream. I'm fortunate enough that I think I can give back a little bit to helping to grow the sport, and the rest of the money I spend at JP's shop.
So I'm in competition with JP for your sponsor.
So
I think that's when you and DC Designs would get on quite well, because he uses Postnet all the time.
So like when you go to Dis-Chem for shopping, it's not the most extravagant place to go shopping, but that last little aisle when you stand there waiting for the till is filled with these beautiful sweets and chocolates and things. That is Simulator Cave. When you walk in there, that is like the queue before the till, and it's very difficult to walk out of there without spending money.
Thanks for supporting, Sean. Much appreciated.
Oh, that's fantastic. No, it's great to see, because we want enthusiastic sponsors. It always helps. And when you've got people who are obviously supporting financially and with their time as well, to see it kind of come together well, and it shows that this is that people are so passionate about the sport and taking part and being able to see sim racing grow. But that brings us on to you, JP from Simulator Cave. Now you have a new store. It's all been modernized, and when did it all get completed, and what's it been like?
Hi everyone. Yes, it's quite a pleasure to be in a niche market. I'm a sim racer myself. I started my business because I love sim racing, and I couldn't get the stuff that I wanted. So I know exactly how Sean feels. The difference being that in the past I had to only look on the internet, and I wanted to have the stuff in my hands. And obviously it's a perfect business model if you can get men to become kids when they walk into your store. So it's nice to have a space where people can see the stuff, touch it, experience it, and put a massive smile on their faces. And that's always been my dream, to really expose people to the sim racing equipment and the value of it, apart from what you see on YouTube, because the YouTube video cannot convey the sheer brilliance and the smell, the touch, and the feedback, and the feel of it all. So that's been the dream for me. And now the new sim cave is going very well. It's one of the guys that work with me, Justin, the other day told me, listen, we just bought this new place now, and it's this. There was supposed to be lots of space, but the space is running out because there's too much stuff, coming on. So it's a nice problem to have, obviously. And there's some nice cool stuff coming up. We've recently signed a good deal with Corsair, who's obviously the new owner of Fanatic now, and we've got some cool stuff coming on. So we're going to have a wider range of equipment as well from Corsair, and I think it's good quality. Well, it's top quality stuff, and there's nothing like seeing men and boys alike walking in with massive smiles on their faces. And obviously it's a nice smile when they walk out with the stuff as well, like Sean Sean often do.
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, when you see some of the equipment now that's available, even some of these new wheels that have come out, that have proper digital displays that are almost like Formula One wheels, or proper GT3 wheels, isn't it? It's incredible what you can actually buy and work on games like Gran Turismo. And it definitely transforms, I think, the experience. But what do you find, Robin? Because you'll know many of the drivers who are taking part in SMA Season 2. Is it still quite a good mixture of those on controller, or most of them now on the wheel and pedals?
Well, the difficult question, because and it's a nice difficult, is that we now over 100 drivers, right? So there's all these new members that have come in, and what I have seen is quite a few new guys coming in with remotes, right? Driving on the remote, and I think that's where the league and gives back to, hopefully in a way, to JP, that eventually they're all going to want to get to wheels, because the league is driven by, I think, if one guy has a wheel and he's fast, you're gonna get the same wheel he's got, because you want to be that fast, and that's how everybody ends up with a wheel. Also, everybody knows tire wear and stuff like that, and besides just the feel of the wheel itself, saving tires on a remote control is very difficult. Easier on a wheel, for instance. Simple things that matter a lot in races, like your last race at high speed ring was based on tire wear. With a good wheel, I do believe you can save pretty much better than a guy on like me on a T300. But then again, it depends. I'm heavy on the brakes, and so I drive terribly. So, but the ultimate goal would be to get what JP is talking about, is that feel that okay, there's no doubt Fanatic and the gear that JP brings in for sim racing South Africa is top end. And the reason why it's top end is because they've made it. We know the difference between a T300 and a DD Extreme, for instance, just chalk and cheese, right?
Yeah.
So but it's nice to know that hopefully JP will be bringing in cheaper products for the guy, because entry level guys, well, I would think is not going to go directly to spend huge sums of money, and then 2 weeks later he finds out, oh no, he doesn't like racing. I think I'm gonna gather dust there. I've seen many of those scenarios, right? And so hopefully JP will give us some exciting news in the near future about new gear.
Robin, can I just pop in here? So the good news, part of the deal that we signed with Corsair, the equipment prices dropped by 25%.
Oh wow!
Wow!
Really? That's the best news ever for us sim drivers.
JP, can I bring mine back and get the cheaper one?
So Sean, that was a real problem for me, and I've knowing that people who bought this stuff, seeing that the stuff is so much cheaper, they're going to blame me for I was ripping them off, or whatever the case might be. They would naturally feel like that, and which is acceptable or understandable. And but the reality is, we literally moved between the 1 month we bought stuff for 25% more, and the next month 25% less. It's literally what happened. So what we actually did, a lot of the stuff that we bought on the old system, we actually dropped the prices of those as well, because we couldn't sell them for more anymore. It wouldn't make sense. So some of the stuff we're making a loss on some of the stuff. And in an email we sent out, we offered the guys who bought their stuff a month before it happened to offer them 50% of the difference, so that they can at least feel a bit better in a credit. So, but yes, it's great news, and it's better for everyone, because 100%. Sim racing equipment in South Africa has always been very expensive, and for many reasons. But yes, at least that is very good news. And oh yes, the other thing with regards to Fanatic, the other thing is that everything now is a 3-year warranty. So that's the market first for sim racing equipment. So at least when you're buying the stuff now, it's we always had local support with Simulator Cave, but now it's official. It's a lot quicker. So we actually have parts in advance now. It's not
Nice.
it's a different process. The bottom line is
Right.
it's better for sim racing South Africa in general. And yeah, so
No, that's
yes,
great news,
the
JP.
stuff,
Yeah.
the prices already came down.
No, that's great news. And thanks for providing that to our drivers, because and that's why I say everybody that's here this evening plays a critical part. You know, JP playing a huge part in all some races, being able to get gear that they've always wished for, and now they can get it at an affordable price. I think less 25 is actually a lot of
Yeah.
That's a lot.
of
It's massive,
price
massive
difference. It's massive.
difference.
Yeah, so I'm hoping I'll see. Maybe my wife has something under the Christmas tree for me. I'm not sure. I'll have to send this. I'll have to send this interview link to her so she can watch it, and hopefully I'll get
Yeah.
my wheel. But yeah, so
I think you can get a Fanatic setup now with the entry level pedals, the entry level, well, the 5 Nm wheelbase, which is upgradable, and the entry level steering wheel. You can get that now for 17.5, and it used to be
no
26. Yes,
17,500.
17.5.
Man,
Yes, so it is bonkers. That's
so I
for
have to save
PlayStation.
another 10. So I have to save
And
another 10
PlayStation.
years, JP. That's not cool. I've got to save another 10 years for that.
If
Nah,
you think
so
a Thrustmaster product, just you still buy a Thrustmaster product which is not as good for around about 12,000 rand.
the 598 BT Games is selling it for 14,999.
Yeah, okay. So you cannot
Hmm.
compare it. Honestly, it's not you cannot compare it. It is
Well, you sitting right there in front of a
Yeah, that is a
T598.
T598.
What
Yeah.
I've heard from Mami Khan as well from TNR is that because the wheelbase is that big,
Yeah.
and then the wheel, it kind of like you can't really see much of the screen. So it's
Yeah.
the
My screen's too
the
big.
whole
I need it smaller.
yeah, everything that they used to like racing, they've now had to adapt it to the wheel, and so it's actually in some cases made them slower. And so, but like I said, you know, each wheel brings its challenges. Whether it be a new extreme wheel, you still need to adapt to all the different things, and because yeah, that's sim racing. But that's the exciting part, though. I love getting into wheels and feeling it out, and yeah. So hopefully I'll be getting, and hopefully all our members who are listening and viewers, that is a very affordable price for a brilliant wheel, and I can guarantee you it comes with a great after service. JP is renowned for his after service. Unfortunately, in this case, Sean, no, you're not getting the discount 25%. You've already paid for the expensive one, so you're not going to get any discounts. But I do know
Yeah, otherwise he would have to give back all the experience that he had for the last year or so as well.
Yeah, that you can't replace. You can't even buy that, bro. So,
I'll keep the results.
yeah. So no, happy days. Well done, JP. Good stuff, man.
Yeah. Now we have one of our very loyal viewers from my channel, Umar, who is based in South Africa, and he's a young chap. I think he's only about 15 or 16, but he's desperate to get into GT7, but he's trying to save up his money to be able to do it. What would you recommend? What would be the best way for him to be able to get involved, so that he can get a PS5 and get onto GT7? Perhaps is there good availability of in fact, actually you can play GT7 on a PS4, and what would you say would be the best way for him to get involved? Because I know he'd love to be able to join a community like this, and be able to improve his racing skills. Who will I ask that to? Robin, I'll quickly go to you first.
Can I ask Sean and Dylan to answer that question, please?
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, I'll give it a bash. So you don't have to spend a lot of money for starters. You can buy yourself a second-hand PS5 or get your parents to buy it. I wouldn't go with a PS4 because you are going to be a little bit limited when it comes to lobbies and things like that. So I would rather save a little bit longer and get a second-hand PS5. There are very good ones I think from about 8.5 or so, somewhere around there. And then you don't have to have the top of the range or very good, shall I say, wheel and pedals. One of the fastest guys at the moment is still on a T300 in our league. Yes, he does want to have a Fanatec, but he hasn't got the money yet. So therefore, it just shows you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can become very quick on a cheaper force feedback steering wheel and pedals. But certainly, like JP will tell you, well, from my experience, I can tell you that there's more feel in a direct drive steering wheel that is of better quality. So, for instance, on my T300, when the car starts to slide, I very seldom would be able to catch it before I spin completely.
Yeah.
On my Fanatec that I have, I catch it 90% of the time before I spin.
Yeah.
So there is a difference in that, but you can get to a certain level without needing to spend a lot of money. It's more important to get experience and have time racing against faster drivers. That's going to make the biggest difference at first.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely quite a thing. I mean, I know everyone when you first get into sim racing and you see all this amazing equipment, you can just it's almost like going to a sports car show or a Ferrari garage, and you want to sit in it and feel it. You think, oh, all of a sudden, you see the best, and so that's what you really want, isn't it? But you have to start first of all with what you can afford and making the best use of that, and then honing your skills, and then in turn, eventually, when you can start to get better equipment. Then you can start to make real improvements. But there's no doubt about it. I had the pleasure of being able to go to Brands Hatch down on the south coast in the summertime, and they have a special simulator centre there, and each simulator cost over £35,000. So they were proper kind of motion simulators, but they're the new style, which are actually they're quite good because they don't move about too much, but they certainly give you a really nice feel. And so I was driving it was on iRacing, and it was Formula 4 cars. They had set it up for that. And the feel was phenomenal. And, the steering was quite heavy. And it was a very hot day for Britain. It was about 30 odd degrees, which is pretty hot for us over here in the UK. But I was sweating away as I was driving this thing, and my son was doing the same thing. But we had great time. And there's no doubt that's what gives you that kind of experience, the immersion of these games that's coming along. But of course, GT7 is improving. There's a big update that's going to be coming out, I think, in December time with lots of new features, and hopefully that will help the game as well with some new tracks. I was going to say, Robin, as you're kind of organising SMA, are there particular tracks? I know it's going to be Silverstone. I think it's going to be Abu Dhabi. Do you think those two might eventually come up in the next season, perhaps, or as things go forward?
Just before I answer that one, to the young man that inquired, and I'm sure Dylan would have said, hopefully our description is in the link below, and I think if you click on that, and then you can get hold of either myself or any of the admin members. There is a Discord link that you can join as well. Maybe get your dad to get in touch, send us an email. We have our email in the description as well. And get in touch with the league, and we can take it from there. Then Spec 3, how about that?
Yes,
as something that you're hopeful that because obviously the game, and I think most of us would tend to agree that it needs an update, like a serious update. And I think just through them maybe watching the streamers and seeing what's going on, I do believe Spec 3 is a good thing. How good it's going to be, and how does it affect SMA in let's say, for instance, we are supposed to hand in our SSRs and combinations of cars for the Africa Cup in 2026, and for the nationals, the MSA nationals coming up in 2026 as well. And yet we we're kind of like a bit cautious. We'd like to think that we can amend in December. So we are sending through our track and car combinations and events for 2026. It's got to be in by November. And then there's new things. There's fear that's now looking at us, and all console leagues in South Africa, and just on a positive, say between UK and Africa, Africa would take up 98% of the sim races if you had to compare the two countries, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so what fear is looking at? Okay, wow, hold on. Africa is showing like some serious growth here. We need to start paying attention and seeing what's going on. So that's the great part about, and it all stems by us growing the sport, by us having the sponsors, by us having a positive community. I mean, and that's all that SMA has been. The community's been amazing. The broadcasters, geez, I don't want to go with to Sean and Miss Dana and to Noah and to all the other broadcasters that have been involved with SMA and the positivity, the top class racing. Some may not agree with me after last night's race, and I think it's up to last time I counted it was 15 racing incidents over the 7 years in last night's race. But over everything that's going on in the league, everything has just been amazing. You know, we in talks with MSA for lots of things, and you know, Renier and his just skill of doing great championships over this year has been amazing. Even right now, this championship that he's put together for us, amazing stuff. Our hosts, you know, just to explain how much it actually takes for SMA to be successful. It takes 100 and some odd drivers. It takes 20 broadcast producers, content creators. So, you know, all our sponsors now with Slayer, hopeful that we get guys like Sparko on board for 2026, Ford. There's lots of potential. And the reason why is because keeping in mind also SMA has not gone asking. I think the only person that we've approached was JP. That's correct. I asked JP to be part of the sponsor, and I think Donovan was also involved in that conversation when we were LNR. But the nice thing is that everybody that's here and the people that are coming on board, we haven't approached really. They have contacted us and said, "Hey, we'd like to get involved in this." If that's not a true sign of you doing the right thing and people looking at it and going, "Okay, hold on, I wanna be involved with that," it really means that we as a community, SMA, together, we are doing sim racing South Africa proud. So I'm just proud to be part of that. Yeah, excited.
Oh, that's fantastic! Yeah, because it's certainly lots of growth there, and it's great to see the whole community grow with its sponsorship and new opportunities coming along. Sean, I was going to quickly ask you because you are the company owner of Postnet. What the people who are just joining us for the first time and might not be aware of what Postnet actually does? What is Postnet?
Okay, I wish I was the owner of Postnet as a whole, but I'm just a franchisee. So I own one. I own one of the Postnets. Otherwise, I would have probably a £35,000 rig. So
and probably bought simulator game out of all its products.
Yeah. I'd have very fast courier services. Yeah. So Postnet is basically a business center, if you want to call it that. And we've got 5 small business units, and they consist of courier, printing or copy and print, stationery, so that's more business orientated stationery, office supplies, etc. We've got a digital small business unit, and there we do criminal record checks, credit checks, car license renewals, things like that, web design. There's a lot of things that people don't realize Postnet actually do unless they ask. And then obviously mailboxes is one of them, which is obviously a dying breed. But every business still has to have a postal address at the end of the day, according to law. So therefore, a lot of my mailboxes are business owners. What we do mostly, like what we did for SMA, is to courier the medals to the winners of the MSA Cup. So we did that within 2 to 3 days, Robin. I can't remember.
100%.
And
very efficiently. Actually, the service was great because I didn't even think about it. And sorry to break your word, Sean. I just said, Sean, can you please get these to the driver? I said, yeah, sure. And I left it at that, right? But not knowing that these are these size boxes and you can't just send it, So Sean took
the box, So
Sean,
a medal.
When I got mine, it took me 10 minutes to get the wrapping off because Sean had tied it so much times with bubble wrap and stuff and sellotaped it to make sure that it got to us safely. And that was so nice. I thought wow, that's cool service. So that's the kind of service Sean provides to his customers.
So that's basically what Postnet does. Basically anything revolving around printing, whether it's on a piece of paper, glass, wood, posters, wallpaper, anything, we can do it.
That's really good. So well, that's the thing, because lots of people who are involved in SMA as drivers will probably be kind of also wanting to stream on YouTube. So it's great. So if you can do all the posters and things like that, and with DC Designs doing all these emblems and these amazing 3D printing designs, I'm sure it will work quite well. You probably find that some of the drivers that want to buy many of the products that you have. So I know, like, I've got my little background there with some lighting and posters and pictures and things. It just makes it a bit better when you have something for people to look at the camera too. And it also raises the profile of the championship, isn't it? Because then more people are watching them play the game, and also they're seeing it on the SMA YouTube channel too, which is great. Now to Ursula from Right Recruitment. I know we've had to go around everybody, but I didn't want to miss you out at all. As a new valued sponsor for SMA Season 2, it's what kind of jobs do you think might be suitable for, or things you might be able to offer in terms of recruitment for those perhaps taking part, or for those watching who might be looking for a new job?
Oh, that's a good question. I've never actually explored that avenue, but it's something that I'm willing to look at, and I'm always up for a challenge. So basically what we do is we recruit on behalf of companies across all sectors. What actually happens is the company approaches us. They're looking for a specific position, and we do everything from A to Z. I specialize in the food industry, the FMCG food industry, the textile industry, and all other industries, including IT, all industries. And like I said, we do everything from A to Z. We do the advertising. And what's very exciting for me at the moment is that we've partnered with Placement Partners, a leading paid advertising platform that gives us access to multiple top job boards, including PNet, known for attracting high quality candidates. And then we also have our website that is up and running. So those ads are automatically drawn through to our websites. Candidates can upload their CVs onto the website, and it's seen by everyone. Then the last thing I'd just like to say, our recruitment fee is very reasonable compared to the other recruitment agencies, in my opinion. They can get extremely high. And so we're still offering the same service, but at a reasonable fee. So that's the basic of Right Recruitment. And yes, this is something I'm definitely going to tackle, looking into the sim motorsport and seeing what I can do to assist and to help them.
Fantastic. Yeah, because it's
Awesome.
always good. I know that many of people now, they work from home, isn't it? They do remote jobs if possible. That kind of thing, isn't it? I know in the UK that's taken off. Over here, in fact, trying to get people to get into the office is seemingly quite a difficult thing. I wouldn't know that because I'm a bus driver normally, so I just jump in my bus and drive, which is always good fun. But no, it's great to see. I think the dynamics of all the sponsors that we have here tonight is great. I know we don't have Slayer or Goose from Slayer energy drinks, but I think that's a great one because that's a really kind of powerful name now, isn't it? In terms of to have energy drinks are the all singing and dancing item for young people these days. They like to see it. It's on Formula One. It's on rally championships. It's on all the big sports. So it's great to see what you can do and to have those kind of sponsors on board. And it looks like as well the dynamics between all of you here. You can really help each other out and work in between, isn't it? Because you do lots of services that can help each other. I was thinking from Right Recruitment, you can get a criminal record check from Sean's company and do all your bits and pieces, so you can have it all sorted out.
Yes,
You can all,
I have I have used Postnet before. Yeah, so yes, I can use Sean.
It's all good, isn't it? It's amazing how these things all work together in a great network. And of course, supporting SMA. And Sean, as you're one of the drivers also competing in the series, what do you think sponsors really kind of get out of SMA? Because it's a great, it's a very exciting championship to watch. But you're part of that, so you can give them a kind of first-hand view of what it's like to drive. And what do you think the value in SMA is to them?
So from a sponsorship point of view, obviously at the moment we're only streaming the tier 1 races, but there is plans to start streaming more of the tiers in the future. And what you get out of it is exposure. So I've got a Postnet branded NP200 Bucky that I drive between Pretoria and Joburg every day. Yeah. And maybe, I don't know, maybe 50 or 100 people see me on the road in that Postnet Bucky. But when I race online or when the tier 1 guys are racing and there's a couple of thousand viewers in 1 hour and they see your Postnet midstream brand or Slayer or Right Recruitment, DC Signs, Simulator Cave, it sticks in your mind because you sit watching those cars and different cars, and they've all got the same logos on them, and that sticks in your mind. Hugh, you won't know this ad, but back in the 90s and maybe early 2000s, there's a company called PG Autoglass, and there was a little song. There was a little song that these soldiers that used to sing and everybody that is listening to this chat right now can tell you what the phone number is for PG Autoglass because of that ad 30 years ago. Yeah. So that's the importance of branding and the visibility it brings you.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, we did actually get a question earlier on from Michael, and it was there any plans to kind of stream the SMA on other channels? So not just on YouTube, but potentially, I think maybe like TV channels that show a lot of motorsport in South Africa. Would that be something that I think now I'm trying to go back to the exact message because you mentioned a particular, I'm just trying to see if I can find this message here. Where is it? It'll be here somewhere. No. Oh, I've gone right to the very front and I can't find it. So what, I mean, I imagine there must be options of television companies or things like that that are now starting to show sim racing. Do you think that would be one of the ultimate goals, to have the SMA League show and maybe even highlights of it on even bigger channels? I'll ask you.
In the beginning of the year, myself and Sean, Flawed Genius Gaming, we looked at the option to stream YouTube and Twitch together, which we know we can, but we also know that it comes with glitches. It's a bit finicky. It works once the first broadcast and then it doesn't work correct. The next there's never a constant good stream of both channels at the same time. So more, I think Twitch is maybe a bigger audience than YouTube right now. I think in terms of sim racing, um, maybe running both in 2026 would be something we'd look at. But I know Sean Flo, he hates technical glitches. Sean is a perfectionist. In broadcast, you obviously can see Sean spends days. He bugs me for days sometimes, asking me 110 questions. All to and Miss Dana, the same thing. These are people that are fully committed. They work days on
Yeah.
a broadcast, and
Yeah.
it comes to us quickly. And within, I think we did a 2 hour stream on our last race, um, and just to see how that all pans out is so nice to be. Look, I'm not racing this season, so watching the broadcast, nice and relaxed. I haven't come out of a chaotic race and then jumping in to watch the stream. Now I can sit back. I am hosting tier 6, but at least it's from my couch with a remote control, and I'm watching the broadcast on the other end. So
And your neck
yeah,
pillow
just
so you can fall asleep.
possibly Twitch and YouTube combined for 2026. It's something myself and the admin team and the broadcast team need to discuss.
Interesting. No, that is
That's what I
interesting.
also add. Yeah, I do know. I think it was 2 weeks ago. There was that Gran Turismo World Series. I do know the one popular sports channel in South Africa is Supersport. They were
Yeah.
actually live broadcasting the Gran Turismo World Series on there. So it is cool to also see that Supersport is the sim racing.
Yeah, definitely.
I know Johan has said it looks like Waka TV or Waka TV would be good to use, and also Michael stated Ignition TV. So there must be perhaps motorsport channels in South Africa that might potentially broadcast, because some of them do broadcast more sim racing, isn't it? But it's great. It's great to see it. But judging going actually to race 2, we've had 2 races already in the season. How do you feel that has developed the championship when you compare it to last year's season? And I'll go to you again. I suppose I'll go to JP. We haven't asked JP for a little while. How do you think the difference is between season 1 and season 2 from your point of view?
That's a question for me.
Yes.
Yes. So I think the positivity and how the people are taking part in it. So season 1, I think it was the first lot, and the guys still had to get to know one another. But I think it's more settled now, and there's definitely guys who moved up from the one tier to the next tier. The competition is a bit tighter, but I think it's people have bought into it more consistently, and that's good. I think that's probably what Robin and the team what they've been working on, and you can definitely see and hear from my customers who's also part of the league that there's a more positive vibe around it all. Especially if a league is new, there's a lot of uncertainty. Obviously, some Motorsport Association sort of moved from LNR, and there was an existing group that moved over, but there was still obviously a bit of uncertainty. And now, obviously, with the second season running, there's more consistency. I think people know exactly where they stand with it. The leadership team, they're more settled with one another. And yes, I think, and obviously the whole idea with the MSA involvement, that's also been, can I say, confirmed, or the understanding is that is the way we go forward, and that's great. The whole MSA thing, I think it's very important for moving forward. So no, I think it's definitely a definite jump in quality and expectation between the team members.
Fantastic. Now, I was going to quickly say to Robin, can the commentary team, I know you were offering special FIA jackets last year when you were earlier in the summer for MSA. I'm sure the commentary team would love to have an FIA jacket. Could you maybe send some over to us, to Sean and I and a few others in the commentary team, so that we can also share that special moment of looking like we've won something?
So, with regards to the broadcast team, who is quite a lot, by the way. I'm not sure if I can get you all jackets, but we can most certainly, we'll most certainly come in, and maybe I'm sure a couple of our guys are gonna come and say hi to you. We've got a couple of people traveling abroad and stuff, and I'm sure SMA can send you guys a well-deserved gift for sure. The broadcast team is something that I I've never dealt with broadcast teams. I've never done this before. It's the first year that we've kind of like developed this broadcasting to a point where we wanted, if we were going to it was either SMA broadcast or SMA doesn't, but we're not going to go half-heartedly into it. So SMA and the admin team have put all our focus into our online presence more this year, because as we know, people are on their phones all the time, right? People are, so the only way to really showcase and to get the support, not just from our community, but from the people that are watching us. And like I said, Slayer messaged us on Instagram. And how does that happen? It's because of our social media presence. What we're showcasing on Facebook and on Instagram, what's coming up on our YouTube. Those are all important things. And those guys have just done brilliantly. I mean, lots of times we sit for hours and brainstorm and to get things done proper, you need the right people. So SMA is very, 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 very lucky to have these type people in our broadcast and in our commentary. Our sponsors make it able for us to pay for this expensive broadcasting team, because it is expensive, no doubt, but I think the return that we get from our sponsors' money is huge, because there's no price really you can put to a vibrant, healthy, safe environment of sim drivers, where you're creating friends, you're creating networks. I've seen on so many occasions the support that people are getting from their community. And even though I may not like you when you're on track, but I've seen on chat that these guys are, and that's the most important thing about, I keep on with growing the sport, but it's got to be with a positive, happy racing community, and growing that is important, So just from SMA side, and the admin of SMA, I think from our side, we just grateful to have an awesome community of drivers that are, like JP said, they're starting to find their way with each other, getting to know each other more. I know he likes the inside. I know Sean is a bit slow in that corner there, so I may be able to take the inside line by Sean there. Lucky I'm not racing this time, Sean. But anyway.
It's all happy. I'm slow in that corner.
Not giving away secrets.
Nah, he never does. But SMA is on the right path because of all these people, the 100 and odd drivers, all the sponsors, all the broadcasters, the admin team, the COC. Everything's just functioning as it should, and we are thankful to everybody that's involved, So going forward, I think we set up for an awesome 2026, an awesome Africa Cup, which will be held in February. We declined the opportunity to host it this year, because I felt that SMA we were focusing on our launch, and then to focus on the launch and the Africa Cup in February would have been almost impossible, because our season started in February. So we declined it this year, but we most certainly accepted it for 2026. And then the nationals. I mean, Sean, it may just affect you, but I haven't told you, but I may as well tell you now that it's live, is that for the MSA Cup in 2026, you won't have to post all the prizes to the winners, because the winners need to go to the MSA gala, where they will go up on stage and they will go and receive their prizes on stage as per all the real race drivers for MSA.
That's
So
awesome.
Fantastic.
yeah, no. So and that's why I said, there's so many things that the SMA admin we can kind of like have a long meeting about it and tell you guys about everything. But we have to like kind of like change is difficult. I hate change. I think all of us here we're kind of like stuck in our ways, and even some drivers is you're stuck in your way, and you're like you want to race in that particular format, and now that we're introducing an association with the racing federation, and the changes that need to happen. Sometimes if you make too many of them all at once, you find that people will resist it. So we bring it in slowly but surely, but it's all positive things. At the end of the day, like I said it 4 years ago, I want to say this again. I want to race for my Springbok jersey, my jacket, my cap,
Yeah.
and I want to go on stage, and I want to go and collect it, and I want to get awarded for my commitment to sim racing South Africa. That's my dream as a sim driver. And I want to, and SMA and the admin team and the sponsors and the broadcast team, we're all working together to create that platform. And as long as we continue doing that, then we can't go wrong.
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. And a quick note as we start to round up the show. I'll go to Sean because you're driving in the series. Now I'm just like, Dylan? Were you driving in the series as well, or are you
Yes.
just?
Yes, I'm also driving in the
You're
series.
only driving. I'll come to you two. I'll go to Dylan first. Now that the two races down and the championship has really got started, what are the things that have stood out so far? And do you have any idea or think of who's going to win at the end of it? How close do you think it's going to be for this season?
I think with this season, it's going to be a very interesting one because we're doing something that's a bit out of everyone's comfort zone with these road cars. And I just think that, and especially with the seeding and how the first two races went, it's definitely shaken the grid up from how it's normally been with all the GT3 and GT4 cars. So it's nice to see how some of the people that you don't normally see at the top doing well compared to the people that you always see winning or doing extremely well in these tiers. But so far, the first two races, I think, has been pretty fun and pretty challenging. And with the next ones coming up, especially with the tuning races are going to be extremely interesting to see what people can do and how those are going to go. Because tuning is also something that a lot of the guys aren't used to.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic! And to you, Sean, your view on the championship so far and where it's going.
So I had to be committed to a mental asylum when it was announced that it was going to be road cars, because like everyone else, when you get GT7, you want to race the best cars you can. So you choose the GT2 cars, GT3 cars, or whatever. You don't go and drive a Polo or a Sirocco or whatever the case. So, but once I was released and there was some visitation rights from some of the members, they said to me that, listen, that's the best opportunity to grow and to improve your level of driving, is to try different things. So it was a lot of practice. Myself and a few of my TNR teammates, we put in, I want to say 15 hours a week, give or take, in preparation. And that doesn't stop because every week it's a different car, a different track, different conditions, tuning, not tuning. So it's a lot of prep if you want to be competitive. You can arrive at drive. You're probably not going to be as competitive if you just arrive. But it's nice that it's something different. It keeps the energy going. It certainly has a change in who's at the top. We saw Tier 1 this last weekend. 2 days ago. Fred, who is normally a very good Tier 2 driver, was suddenly dicing for the top 3 positions in Tier 1. I mean, that is phenomenal because he is good with road cars compared to maybe some of the guys that are normally at the top of the podium that are better with racing cars. So it's thrown a big span in the works, and it's really nice. I'm glad to see that it's getting new guys towards the front of the race.
Yeah.
The other thing is also with these road cars, I just want to add is like with like the GT3 and the GT4 cars, no matter what you switch, you always kind of have an understanding of like the feeling and what they can do with the road cars each week. It feels like it's completely different. It's like sometimes it's the gearing that's different, sometimes it's the way the car handles in the corner. So each car this season is just going to have a different handling compared to like the GT3 and the GT4, where you kind of have an understanding of what to expect.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Because I think it's great to see, different cars, new combinations. It keeps everything fresh, and it makes it really exciting to watch and to see, what people can do. As you see, new drivers can maybe take some of those combinations better. You might suddenly find a combination that really works for you, and all of a sudden you're moving forward, and it can really help to boost your own kind of driver profile and standing, and you can learn so much more. So no, it's great to see the championship go on and do so well, and it's great to see all the new sponsors here and existing sponsors and all of you supporting it so much and seeing the dynamic grow. It's certainly exciting, and it'll be great to, as the championship is decided later on in the year, to get your views again, and we'll keep you all up to date with what's been happening. But Robin, would you like to close with any particular comments for the team here, the sponsors and the drivers and the viewers alike? What would you like to say to them all?
Stay safe, be happy, and thanks for all the support from everybody, from our drivers. Like I said, just everybody. They know who they are. It's just been amazing having all the support, and SMA will continue to provide the platform to grow the sport, and let's keep on creating that kind of like safe, happy place, community that we can go and just be yourself and have good fun. That's what it's about, guys. Keeping a strong community and growing together. So yeah, thanks to everybody that helps with that.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining with us tonight. It's been great to get to know you all and to renew many of our old acquaintances, as they would say in Scotland, to see you all, to keep up with what's been happening and to see the championship grow. And it's great that you're sponsoring this wonderful championship. And Robin is along with the admin team, putting all that work to put on this great show, along with the commentary team as well. And it really is an impressive. Every time I watch it on YouTube, I think, my goodness, it's just like watching the touring cars. The presentation, the skills involved, and the excitement of the races definitely deserve what you've been able to put in, and I hope it continues to grow. And I'll be looking forward to commentating along with Sean for a couple of races in season 2 as well, a bit later on. Yeah, we're really looking forward to that. So if you thought you'd got rid of a crazy Scotsman, no, you haven't. There's just be a few more to go. And of course, throughout the season, we'll be interviewing more drivers as we go on a weekly basis throughout the season to see who's done well, who would like to do better, and we'll get all the banter and all the info on the championship as it goes along. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching. From Dylan from DC Designs, Sean and JP, Robin and Ursula from Right Recruitment. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show, and have a wonderful week, and we'll keep up with you all to see how things are moving forward with the SMA Championship. And to everyone watching, you've been watching the Hugh Hatrick Show in collaboration with the Sim Motorsport Association. I'm sure we'll agree to drive fast and don't crash. Bye just now.